Underwater Search Unit, Inspector Johns. Good morning. Yes, Grand Union Canal.
The Metropolitan Police Underwater Search Unit was formed in 1962. It is based at Wapping on the River Thames. The unit is staffed by 9 divers, all of whom are serving police officers. It is on call 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, to recover bodies, weapons and property or other articles concerned in crime. It is also involved in searches for missing persons, in the recovery of high-value lost property, in security work, and in underwater surveys of various kinds.
Morning, Sergeant.
Good morning, Underwater Search Unit. I think you want our services.
Yes, we do.
What happened?
In this incident, the diving supervisor seeks from the investigating officer as much information as is available about the item to be recovered, such as location, size and colour. Most of the unit's diving is in conditions of nil visibility, searches being carried out by touch, so it is very important that as much information as possible is passed to the diver before he enters the water.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
As the diver enters the water, his safety line can be seen under his right arm. Within the line is included a telephone cable which links the diver's microphone and earpiece to a communications unit on shore. This enables the diver to speak to the attendant on shore and vice versa. If another diver is in the water, the system permits one diver to speak to another as well as to the shore. The diver searches by touch, using one of a series of search patterns created by lines laid along the bottom. Such patterns enable a thorough search to be made and, bearing in mind that on most occasions he cannot see, allow the diver to work without becoming disorientated.
Yeah, well done, Dick.
A firearm has been found. To preserve forensic evidence, all objects found are handled as little as possible. In this instance, the diver places the firearm straight into a plastic exhibits bag. When a firearm is retrieved, extra care must always be taken, as it may be loaded. Based at Wapping Police Station, just downriver of Tower Bridge, the unit is part of the Metropolitan Police Thames Division. Created in 1798 as the Marine Police, Thames Division has the distinction of being the first recognised police force in the world. The Metropolitan Police was formed in 1824 and, 15 years later, in 1839, merged with the Marine Police, which therefore became Thames Division. As this division covers some 54 miles of the River Thames, a high proportion of the unit's diving is carried out on this waterway. When diving on the tideway, the main problem is the tidal flow, which restricts the time available, known as the diving window, to a short period either side of high and low water. Thus, it is essential that maximum use is made of the available dive time. Tideway operations can take longer because of these limits. The diver enters the water down a ladder. A jump entry would only be made when it is known that there is no underwater obstruction. The tide carries him around the stern of the dive boat, where he picks up what is known as the shot line. When satisfied, he indicates to his attendant on the lifeline, then descends to begin the search. When searching in conditions of nil visibility, he may be able to see what he has found if he stands above the silt that has been stirred up. In kitting up, the diver first puts on woolen underwear, then an outer waterproof suit, hood and neck seals, a safety harness, knife, and, finally, the diving set of bottles, lifeline, and communications. The attendant checks that the communication system is in working order. The diver is wearing an oral nasal type mask. Some officers have qualifications that permit them to carry out the extensive and at times complicated maintenance of the unit's diving equipment. This is work of crucial importance, particularly in regard to the breathing apparatus, in which a malfunction, especially at depth, could put a man's life at risk. Here, the diver uses a jump entry. As it is known, there is no underwater obstruction. When diving in waters other than the River Thames, the unit makes use of its own inflatable dinghies. Although the surface of the water is flat, the bottom is a very different matter. Vast amounts of rubbish in some of the older waterways, accumulated over hundreds of years, have to be sorted through by the diver. Good information at the outset is therefore invaluable. Not all operations involve diving. Here we have, firstly, a mud crawl. This is good for the complexion, or so we are told. Then a shallow water search. And finally, the use of snorkels.
Get that.
Sorry, will you go away?
Some searches are carried out in sewers, culverts, and flood outfalls. The unit covers all of the 800 square miles of the Metropolitan Police District. When required, assistance may also be given to surrounding constabulary areas.
Sunny's way.
One of the unpleasant and more stressful jobs undertaken is the recovery of dead bodies.
Driver to surface.
Service to diver, go ahead.
I have located body.
You have located body, message received.
Wait.
Service to diver.
Driver service.
Wait where you are, please, over.
Message received.
This task is all the more distressing when it involves the bodies of children.
Right. Got him, John?
Yep.
Okay.
Ready to go.
Okay. Thank you, Mike. Matt, look after Mike. Yep. Hey, come on.
Hang on, we've got a bit of fishing on there.
You have seen some examples of the work carried out by the Underwater Search Unit. Remember, the unit is there to assist and serve you, the shoreside officer. If you require its services or think it can help you in any way, don't hesitate. Ring the unit direct or make contact through the station officer at Wapping Police Station. Remember, no water is too shallow, No job is too small. The unit is for you. Make use of it.
Hunt for him, including mounted police and frogmen. They've been searching a lake at Burgess Park near the boys' home. Sarah Spiller has the story.
Police horsemen have now joined more than 100 officers who are combing a large area of South London. They're trying to find any clues which might shed light on Barry's whereabouts. Today, a jumper was discovered, but it was doubtful whether it belonged to the little boy, and the find brought detectives no closer to solving the mystery of Barry's disappearance. Police frogmen were also out early today, making an underwater search of a lake near Barry's home. It's 2 days since Barry Lewis disappeared about a mile away from this lake. He was wearing a blue or green jumper, jeans and a white t-shirt. Police are searching this area because Barry was known to enjoy playing around the lake and in the surrounding parkland. What sort of response have you had to your inquiries?
We had a very good response. From the news bulletins yesterday, we had over 20 calls, which have given us a few positive leads, possible leads that we can carry on with. Hopefully today we can sort those leads out and maybe have some indication later in the day if they're any good.
What sort of clues do you have?
We've had sightings since the boy was last seen on Sunday, and these we've got to confirm to make sure it is in fact the same boy that we're looking for.
What will you be doing over the next few days?
Well, certainly today we'll carry on with the searches. As you can see, we've got the underwater search unit behind us in the lake. We've got the mounted branch going through the open spaces in the park. Police cadets doing the areas that the dogs couldn't get at yesterday. And we're carrying on with the door-to-door inquiries and searches of the flats in the area.
Are you still appealing for information?
Oh, indeed, yes. Any information, no matter how small. Anyone who's seen the boy or thinks that they've seen the boy or knows where he is or can give us any information whatsoever.
That report from Sarah Spiller. Now let's find out what else has been happening in the southeast
Further
today.
today, but nothing was found. An inquest into the death of Tina's friend, 4-year-old Stacey Kavanagh, has found that her killer strangled her with some kind of cord.
As police continued their search for the children, some of their playmates were arriving at the primary school near their homes. Parents who normally allowed their children to walk to school alone were escorting them and making sure they were safely inside the gates. With a child murderer at large, all the mothers share the same feelings.
Let the police turn a blind eye. Hand in to us, to all the women of Rotherhithe, and we'll show you what we do to people that does that to children.
A few hundred yards from the school, police combed wasteland near the disused Surrey docks, checking all building sites, empty cabins and the long grass. Police divers spent hours searching the dock itself without success. A telephone tip-off led the divers to a pond on Clapham Common. They found nothing there either. Calls are still flooding into a special incident room at Southwark Police Station, but so far they've led nowhere and the search goes on.
We've searched thoroughly all the area around Tina's home, and we've gone as far west as Mill Wharf, and we're now doing the whole of the Surrey Docks area, all the perimeter area by the river, and the foreshore has been done.
How long is it going to go on for?
As long as it takes to find her.
Divers search the docks until nightfall. They'll be back at first light tomorrow. Although the missing children's parents are praying they might still be found alive, senior policemen say hopes are not.
But police hope that this tattoo on the dead man's arm, together with 2 others on his body, may help to identify him.
Two police frogmen were doing an inch-by-inch search at the bottom of the River Lee at Edmonton today, looking for clues, including the missing head.
You can't see anything at all. It's completely black.
So it's just a matter of feel,
is it? It's freezing cold. So it's just a case of feeling the bottom and trying to locate the object that we're looking for.
The body was discovered yesterday floating in the Lee by the popular Cook's Ferry Inn.
A customer came running into the bar about 12:30 and...
The most significant one is that of a half-naked lady wearing a bottom bikini, topless, with a dagger in the right hand and a sword in the left hand.
Well, I shall be going down again until I've used all my air, and then if I don't find it or the other diver doesn't find it,
search unit, whose job it is to recover the weighted down corpse.
The body was found just immediately over here, in actual fact, just in this canal. It was, in fact, visible. The body, in actual fact, it's quite unusual because of the need to recover it to maintain the maximum amount of forensic evidence. We recovered it actually on a ladder as opposed to a stretcher.
The body of a young man is taken away. It's the end of the search unit's involvement in a case which is only just beginning.
I mean, are we talking about a murder investigation?
At the moment, it is being treated as a murder.
The underwater search unit packs up for the night. It's been a long day. 14 hours earlier, they were working on another murder case. Home of the underwater search unit is this cluttered room, more reminiscent of a fishing pub than Wapping police station. The job this morning is to search a river and its banks for a murder weapon.
Yeah, I know. Because I've got a feeling the rest of us will be in the mud.
Oh, yeah.
It's not in the water. We're
Typecast again.
The information is that the murder weapon is somewhere here.
Oh, this is a nice bit of slush.
All this water and mud has to be searched inch by inch.
Well, operations we get between 150 and 250 per year. So bearing in mind an operation can be a straightforward job where you go there and he points and you're in and it's all done in a couple of hours, or they give you an area like the Red Sea.
Within minutes of reaching the waterside, the officers make a dramatic discovery. 20 live shotgun cartridges. They are not linked to the murder case, but what are they doing here? More police inquiries will have to follow.
Who knows, you might even find the firearm that goes with it.
The search unit are rarely surprised by what they find.
We were called to a body floating in the canal, and having got there, we hiked this one out, and then there was another one we found alongside it. We didn't know what they were. It looked like a body with no head on when we first got it out because it was a bit decomposed. And then we couldn't work out whether it was animal or human. Eventually it turned out that what they were two brown bears that had been killed and skinned by a local taxidermist. And the bodies, because he'd taken the head, and the bodies were then just tossed into the canal.
The search of the water is underway. Progress is painfully slow.
What we've done, we've stretched a line across held by the two lads on the bank, and they'll use that as a guideline, and they work to the centre, and then the whole lot is moved forward a couple of feet, and then they carry on searching back to the bank.
Come on, my little fellow, where are you?
Still no murder weapon. Then a shout goes up. It's a rifle, an old .303. Not the weapon they want, but it could nonetheless be linked to crime. The search continues.
There are times, especially in the winter, when you've been down for about 20 minutes and if you're diving under ice or something like that, you think, what the hell am I doing down here? You can't see anything, you're wet, you're cold, you may have a hole in your suit, a piece of glass has gone through, and you just think, what the hell am I doing here?
Most of our dives are in nil visibility. It's basically our hands, and so they call us the best gropers in the business.
Have you got a very good touch, do you think? I mean, do you know?
Oh yes, they've been well recommended.
The other things that disturb you are, especially in the tideway, is a pair of ladies' tights. So you get the motion of the flow of the river, and over a period of time, the stockings or tights silt up. So there you are, grabbing away, no viz, you grab a foot, what do you think it is? So you've got to follow this up till you come to the end of a tight or a welly boot. I mean, it gets our heart going, you know.
Do you get any worse jobs than this?
Not really. Shallow work's always hardest because you either, you know, if you're on the bottom and a bit of water above you, it's far more comfortable. Your neck aches a bit after a time, your back aches.
Half an hour later, the divers uncover a bag containing passports. More material for the CID to check through and find out how on earth these ended up here. Much of the underwater search unit's work is finding bodies. They recover around 30 a year, and that means experienced officers will have dealt with hundreds in their career.
Bodies, you never get used to them. The actual finding is not so bad, it's the waiting to find. You're just waiting, you're stood up to touch it all the time.
I wasn't immediately involved in the Marchioness, I came in the following day. It was just horrific, really. I'd never like to see anything like that again.
It's quite tragic, really, that eventually, yes, I found one Wellington boot, then a further Wellington boot, and then, yes, eventually I found the child.
The search of the water is nearly over.
Well done. Cut himself.
A hard day's work and no murder weapon, but still one more discovery.
It's likely to be the proceeds of a robbery. I mean, people don't throw away bags with silver and jewellery cases in it just to get rid of it. So it's got things in there that are identifiable, and we may well be able to, or the CID, local CID, may well be able to tie it up with a robbery or a break-in that's occurred.
Not a bad day's haul. All will be handed over to the local police and followed up. But for the search unit, the hunt for the murder weapon goes on.
But we've got to do this today to clear the water side of it, so we can work the bank.
Tomorrow? In the mud tomorrow?
In the mud tomorrow, yeah. A longer day tomorrow.
All right, let you get on.
OK, it's up. The murder victim you saw in the canal. Now. In my box. The high one's on the other side. The other one comes out the other way. Probably just where the forward supposed to be. So to make sure the forward, where the forward rail is, goes hard. I might just stop it a bit shorter actually, because it's very small on the plant hill. There is one. Single bill skill, yeah. Yeah. One, if you can finish the engine and tie up now to the nut there, I was going to put check in and try go get the side I would suggest first, do the forward bit. That goes okay, come back, up, move it outside, and then go up. And then that's that side. There is no inlets on this side. Open or working, they're all closed. Once we do this, if we get the chance, I'm trying to make it all together.
Bill's not here, he's here. Gone to see Nigel. Yeah, we can do. Those bendy nights look good actually. Suppose if they drifted away it'd be handy, wouldn't it?
They haven't got those wrist ones.
Yeah. First on that bit. 130 for Dick.
130 for Dick there.
One to three cable. Street and be locked series number 7. Approximately 1 mile.
I was looking up for me because I'm saying yeah, sure. Lovely.
Moving alongside red and green eyes. And all vessels pass working walk with caution. Tide information, line 2.0.4. End of the broadcast.
Cool.
Take it out, Bob.
Just the one, that's up now.
Alright, is it locked off?
Dry it?
No.
No, actually it did.
It's soaked.
Did it leak or was it perspiration?
No, it's a leak. It's come down the front. I could feel it creeping down. I thought, please let me get to the end before it reaches me nuts.
261. That's what I thought I had down here. Yeah. I got halfway back and I said I'll run out. I said, well, I've done the front. I said take me back to where I lost it. Move me down a few extra. In fact, they said no, that's where it finished. There you go, Barry. So big, so rough, so tough, so strong. Such a tight collar in the neck.
Yes.
Yes, of course, yes.
You're going to fall.
Yeah.
Right, another 3 coming up the end of the month. No, I should hear what it said.
What?
Another
3 coming up the end of the month.
I heard him say 2.
Just make sure they're on Saturdays and Sundays.
Well, we don't really want them Saturdays and Sundays.
See that fucking using
You want to swap yours while you're in?
Do you want to say that again? While you're on video.
Load of show beds, yeah.
There's not many people there when you first start. But less by the time they all arrive, it's thicker. You'd be better off filming it out.
Got any car,
Aye. Oh, it's
Diesel. Oh, that biggie. Hello, Ugly. Smith, yeah.
Yours while you're in?
Do you want to say that again? While you're on video.
Load of show beds, yeah.
There's not many people there when you first start. But less by the time they all arrive, it's thicker. You'd be better off filming it out.
Got any car,
Aye. Oh, it's
Diesel. Oh, that biggie. Hello, Ugly. Smith, yeah.
Keep walking. Sploosh. What's he doing? It's set out. I've lowered the bottom line. On the stern? Right. Swinging now anyway, he says. It's swinging.
Or swinging? Yeah, we've got to get in there.
The big ship's swinging.
Yeah, picked up a little while ago.
Swinging is almost swinging.
Oh, you mean just
hear you. Give us a bell.
Bye-bye.
That's the carpet job now, you've got to work on the floor.
We'll lay out a search line on the canal, which amounts to a weighted liner, and the weight is to the far side and this side, and as the diver goes along one side of it, he gets to the far end, moves the weight an arm's length, or whatever he considers a good searching distance, comes back along it and does the same this end, and so consequently you've got a zigzag pattern going across the bottom. It's thorough, but it's slow. You'll find everything in a canal, even the kitchen sink. It's so cluttered. Sometimes you can't even make contact with the bottom. There's so much clutter. You're just on top of clutter. It really is the worst. But it's our bread and butter searching. It's what we do most. We have a minimum of 5 personnel. That's a diver in the water and the diver's attendant. Then you have a standby up top and a standby's attendant and a supervisor. Diver actually dresses according to the temperature. As you see, he's wearing a very thin underwear today. But in the wintertime, we can double, treble up. And
I recognise that weed.
The thing that dictates how long the diver stays in the water is his hand. We wear a wet glove, and as soon as he loses contact with what he's searching with, which is his hands, he's got to come out because he's wasting everyone's time. He mustn't pretend that he's searching, because he's not. He's got no visibility, and it's all done by touch. And when they go, you come out.
Oh, it's good. It's got 2 different sorts of suits. Are you ready? Steady, go. Oh. God, that's all wet. It's on me. 3 shredded wheat. Well, only went in with it, John, didn't it?
Jim, yeah, you've got to let go.
I'll show you.
Keep the old magic down.
I'll show you.
Then bring it up slowly.
I'll show you how to do it. Now I've got the trick.
Get 340 bar in them.
Now I've got the trick.
John, you're allowed that lifeline.
You have to step back when you get to your press up to the marsh, unfortunately. Well, we're going to walk over the glass.
Rocco.
Well, this will be
turn it on for us.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Receiving me?
Yes, I know.
Right, okay.
What's this way, sir? There's a little hickey there. See, on the wrong side of you, though.
Load trolleys? Yeah. A bit more on that old chest work when you get that ball.
Speak to the wind.
She'll kill you if I get bloody.
Go to your right, facing the shop, Mick. You're going slightly left.
Thames, cleanest commercial river in Europe. This is grotty. Loads of disease about. Viles disease, polio. That's the worst one, though, is that leptospirosis thing, the Viles disease. Rat's piss. You die. Nice. Yeah, polio's back. So, it's the gloves. It's jobs like this you hate in the winter, because you stand there and you freeze your bits off, you know. And the warmest guy's the diver. This acts as a lifeline and a communication line. We have to dive on a lifeline anyway, because of HSE regulations. But we've got the added bonus of having communications with the diver as well, within the lifeline. And as you can hear, it's quite clear. It's almost like speaking to him as I'm speaking to you now. It's reassuring for the diver. We find now that, especially in the winter, the diver seems to spend a lot more time in the water than he used to. You know, if you're down there on your own, it's cold and it's dark and you've got no visibility. You know, and you're not speaking to anybody. You don't want to stay down there very long. But if you've got somebody talking to you constantly, I think it takes your mind off the fact that you're cold and you're on your own. And we find we stay down a lot longer. We've got two lines. Yeah. One's to the standby diver, so he can actually hear what's going on with the diver that's in the water. And that also is a safety measure in that before I say to him, you know, the diver's in trouble, go in, he's ready to go. Before we just had a line, you see, and it was lifeline signals. That's like Morse code. And different signals meant different things. But some years ago, there were some fatalities in the diving unit. There was one in our diving unit and two in Essex. And because of that, police regulations now say that all divers over 1.5 metres must have communications at all times. It's a crack-on job. Well, we'll do a specific area. You know, you could end up in Birmingham if you're going to be really silly. But you've got to make a decision and say, well, you know, we'll do from the bridge to the bend. You name it, we'll find it.
Anything and everything.
Dead dogs to shopping trolleys, anything. And occasionally we find what we're looking for. That'll do. Make a clean sweep of it.
It's not floated around this bloody corner.
Yeah, it is.
Wouldn't it, eh?
A bit of a bummer, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Did anyone speak to his mates afterwards? Yeah, they say you just went out the window and that was it, you know. And then someone down here, run down here, and they swung there.
Yeah.
You received steep climb.
So it's a steep climb, this
He's on a slant. He's on like a bank down there.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. It's nice and close to the edge. That's the main thing.
I can get it in more. Look.
Yeah. I've got up over the edge of this bank.
Yeah. Hey, that's straight on down now.
It must go like that. Oh.
Yeah. We've got about 5 metres, but normally the dock's in around 9 metres.
This is a lot shallower than we expected.
You should be right on it now.
You alright, mate?
You okay? Received. Received 4 and 5.
Spot on.
Now, will you bring them out?
Yeah, we'll be bringing him up, yeah.
John, we take some of this weight. He wants a hand up with on the lifeline. Just not gently, just that's it. That's it.
Can you go down that ladder? Yeah, if you're good. And get Dick out in the corner. Yeah, okay.
No, I'm not going to bother. It's me.
No, it's all right for a minute, John. Richard, Smoothie's going to take him over in that corner, and I want you to swim back to the pontoon and we'll get you out there, okay? What's your hair?
We're going to have to unlash this ladder. It's quite secured on the other end. But as you say, it would be a better idea to get the ladder in here. Wait for, if you can hang on.
Oh, yeah. Skip one.
We were getting to get a bit worried there because we were getting to a point where it was getting a little bit awkward, and it would have meant having to move the whole search into a different area. But as it turned out, it's successful.
I mean, visibility there presumably
It is absolutely nil, and he doesn't particularly want visibility when you're searching for a body. You just bump into him. Visibility it's not a bonus looking for a body. It's much better just sort of, there he is. But it's, I think the diver had a full search, he had a full 40 minutes there. And after that time, you really don't want to be in any longer when you're searching for a body because the old imagination starts to churn, you know. You've been in there 40 minutes, you think, well, where the hell is he? And it's quite a relief when you actually bump into him under these circumstances.
Well, for a change, I didn't jump, but you know you've got a dead person, and once you've found it, the job's over and finished.
So we hand it across to the local police, and they'll take it from there. We'll make a statement out for them, and that'll be for any coroner's court appearance. Sometimes they call us just out of interest to see what it was like down there, if there's any difficulties for the guy who got it, if there was any snags or something. But normally it's straightforward, these things. So that's about as much as we do.
Kiddies are the worst ones, you know. They're more stressful, I think. Looking for a youngster. Especially if you're a family man. Yeah.
I can't make any assumptions here, but I'll leave that for the local police. But I think it sounds like a suicide, but we'll not know till the later on when the inquiries reveal otherwise. But normally suicide, these things.
Once you've found it, it's become simple. Well, it's the worst of the standby, because he's waiting to go in, and when he's on his last run, you think, oh, I'm in next.
Don't bring that.
I'm in next, he said.
You never get used to bodies.